Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, so this is what we discussed yesterday, right? So, we are going to discuss Spring Framework, Spring Boot microservices, including Hibernate and Servlets. Okay, from Spring, we are going to cover all these modules. And let me mention security also here. Spring Security and amazing. And Spring Boot, complete Spring Boot features. You can go through the list of features here. Let me show you through Spring document itself. Okay, this is the Spring document. If you can go through it, we have all the list of features here. Spring Boot features. Okay, so Spring Boot is having so many features like startup failures, like how to configure debugging, how to do lazy initializations, eager initializations, how to customize your banner. You must have observed, right, if you experienced with Spring Boot application, customizing banners and application exist features, externalized configurations, profiling, logging, IATN, of course, developing web application, security, working with SQL databases and NoSQL databases, caching, messaging, validations, sending emails, distributed transactions, and quad, task scheduling or task executions, and Spring integration with the different services like mail APIs, Kafka, and all. Spring session management and WebSockets. Other things we have Kotlin support and all. We list further about it. Um, Creating own auto configurations. Okay, we will go through this document, all the list of features. Coming to microservices, you can go through this. We are going to discuss all these patterns. So this is complete microservice architecture. When you want to design application in especially microservices, how you will decide how to decompose your requirements into microservices from designing front to all the remaining implementations, right? From monolithic to microservice when you move, how to implement a database architecture, how to implement queries, how to handle transactions, right? How to implement cross-cutting services or externalized configurations, security. See, all these are basically patterns. So for each pattern, we cover multiple examples, communication styles for reliability, how to implement security circuit breakers to give access to external APIs, how do we implement API gateways, and for service discovery, we have Eureka, and infrastructure patterns for deployment. Do we use single service or shared services? And for logging purpose, observability patterns they given here, auditing, application metrics, application health monitoring, exceptions tracking, distributed tracing. You know, we go through each pattern and we cover all that examples. Okay, you can refer this documentation, microservices document. So many authors are writing here, particularly about microservices patterns here. Okay, you may go through it. So coming to Spring framework, we will start a discussion about it, right? As we thought, we will start with IOC module. Okay, Spring is having multiple modules. We have all these features in Spring Boot also. Don't think that if you keep the Spring framework directly, if you can jump into Spring Boot, we can avoid all this. So that is not the case, right? We need to understand about all these features directly in Spring Boot or through Spring framework. Okay. So the importance of IOC is here. IOC is the base module for all the Spring modules. Though you implement microservice based application or a Spring Boot application, Spring framework application, IOC is the base module that we are going to use across all the application developments. Let me show you through. This is our blog, right? Let me go through our blog first. Just let me take a screenshot of it, or I'll tell you the importance of each module. Let me put this into 8. So we call this Spring Core as Spring IOC module. Okay, this is the base module, right? As I said, this module, without this module, we can't run any other. All right. If you see, all these are going to run on top of Spring Core only, and the same Spring Core module we use in Spring Boot as well, right? All the Spring features, whatever you think, right? All that features are going to run using Spring Core only, even in Spring Boot also. And whatever you implement in microservices, even microservice features also need this Spring Core. So Spring Core is the base module. It's a base module. We need to understand about this module first, because without this, we can't do anything. Without Spring Core module, we can't do anything. Without Spring Core libraries, we cannot do anything, right? So Spring Core is such an important module that we need to know first, because all the Spring basics they are covering here. How do we, code in Spring Boot, and as well as they have given some features also as part of Spring Core libraries itself, and especially they given self containers, right? Spring Core module is having containers. So without this Spring Core module containers, we can't run Spring application. Without container, you can't run Spring application. This is similar like your Java. Without Java, you can't run your Java classes. Without Java, command, right? Without Java runtime environment, without JRE, can we run Java code? No. Similar way, without this core module containers, you cannot run Spring code. right? Why they have given this container as part of this framework? So before Spring framework for doing application development, let's say what kind of application we can design Java by using Java or J2EE frameworks, basic standalone, like which are running in single machine, right? Example, calculators or any shop management or vending machines, or any simple shop management system. If you want to deploy it into one machine, let's say some medical shop management or kirana shop or gold shop, whatever it is, if within a single machine you want to deploy and you want to use it, plain core Java must be enough, right? Using your Java swings and what we have, swings and JWT, right? Not it. Java. We have new feature also like swings. So using that UI components, you can design it. You can design it, and maybe you can use Jdbc little bit to connect with the database. So we have complete support in CoreJava itself. Simple CoreJava libraries are enough to make such standalone applications. So here, practically, CoreJava knowledge must be enough to build such applications. If you want to build applications to access around the web applications, if you want to build, then we need API support here, right? So we don't have any support from CoreJava. We need to use Servlets API. So Servlet API is having support for building web applications. In Servlet API, we have servlet components, filters, right? JSPs. Using these classes, you can implement server-side components. Basically, when you implement any web application, we need to use Servlet API, which are implementations from, right, Tomcat or JBoss, any Servlet implementation that we can use. So if you implement Servlet application, example, any web application, okay, any small scale web application, same, your shop management, if you want to sell your items in online across your city, right? Something online shopping application, a small scale. Don't think like it huge. A small online shop application if you want to maintain, just if you want to advertise about your shop, offers and all. If you design a web application or if you have your blogs, if you want to create such all, you can design by using servlets. Finally, you need to run them into one web container. Container is a dependency here. So here we need Java runtime environment specially. We will run application into JRE. Once development is done, we run it is on JRE. Whereas these web applications will run on web containers like Tomcat, Jetty, right? We need web containers to run them. And what else? Using Java J2EE API, distributed applications we can develop. Distributed applications by using EJB API, enterprise Java beans, right? Here we have session beans concept and entity beans. Using the session beans and entity beans concepts, we can implement application as a distributed application. Same online shop if you take, consider it is a big scale online shopping application, right? Handling so many customers, a huge application if you think from the customer's point of view, you are handling so many operations here. like product creation, product management, vendor management, inventory, and if you are maintaining orders management, if you distribute them as a different applications, order management and delivery, if you are tracking them separately using product management, if you are creating your products, let's take Amazon. Who will add products to Amazon? Not by Amazon, right? Amazon sellers, we will have that seller will add products and they will maintain the inventory, and orders, we will order the product and the delivery team will deliver it. So for each business area, they will maintain different applications. Instead of coding everything together into a single piece, they will make it as a distributed application to perform well. Instead of deploying into one mission, they will divide the code as per the business capabilities, and they will implement it separately using EJB session beans. This component, these components, and all these components they can develop. Finally, the problem is here, not basically problem. Why they are using EJB here is, in case one system, if it wants to talk with another system, as you divided your code it into multiple pieces, multiple modules, one module deployed into one container like WebLogic, and one is deployed into JBoss, and again WebLogic. For one, we are using WebSphere. We can use any type of application container, but definitely we need to use application servers rather than web servers. Okay, so if this code, if it wants to talk one with another, we can do that communication here because EJB session beans are having that capability, whereas in servlets it is not possible. If two applications wants to talk together, just we need to do communication over the HTTP only as a simple request. But in EJBs it is possible that these classes can talk with these classes. Such a model they implemented, stubs and skeletons. They implemented internally a kind of remote method invocations they will do, right, to talk each other. When you break application into multiple pieces, right, when you break your application into multiple modules, for customer side, they don't think that you divided it to multiple modules. Customer don't care. So you need to make it as a single unit finally. So if somebody wants to call from product management to inventory, inventory to order, or order to delivery, they should able to talk each other. So in EJBs that is possible, they can communicate each other, they can talk each other here. That is possible. In EJBs that is possible, but the dependency is here web container, application containers, right? Application servers we need to purchase. Let's say you have a small scale e-commerce application you want to build with open sources, right? We don't have any open source support to deploy EJBs and to manage them, and development itself is so much difficult, right? We need very skilled developers here to implement it. Let's say your budget is something very less, right? Within 1 CR I want to make a project and I want to deliver, not even 1 CR. Let's say I have 1 lakh budget. Within this budget, I want to design this system and I want to deliver it. Within this 1 lakh, I want to go for freelancing, right? I need to find a developer. I need one developer and servers also. For 1 year, I want servers. Maybe 1 lakh is too low. Let's say 10 lakh budget I have. So yeah, this is my budget, and for servers, this is what my investment, and for developers, So within this budget itself, I should be able to manage my application. In EJB, really that is not possible. One developer can't make it because implementing EJB components are too difficult, and servers also, right? You need to purchase application servers. Their licensing also too high, right? But earlier we don't have any options. If any big banking applications or e-commerce applications in Java, especially if they want to implement distributed applications, so no other options we have apart from EJB, so they used to implement it. So slowly from this EJBs to you know application development move towards to web services. The same components you can implement in web services. Instead of using EJB components here, you may use REST APIs or SOAP-based APIs here. So if that is the case, you don't even have application server dependency. You may implement your services by using REST or SOAP-based APIs. So we have so many such APIs to implement. And finally, you need not to purchase these servers, right? You can use same Tomcat to run these applications. So in Tomcat, mostly we can launch these applications, right? So these are somewhat better compared with the EJB components. Okay, but this is the same thing that we do in microservices. Earlier, we don't have so much capabilities for uh, this SOAP-based or REST-based web services implementations. Okay, so we used to develop that services, but managing that applications were difficult before microservices. But now it is they made it very simple implementing REST-based applications or SOAP-based applications also. Just a minute. Okay, yeah. Now what Spring is providing here, if I want to implement such a distributed application or any web application, right? So we are talking about CoreJava and Servlet API and EJBs here, where Spring involves here, where Hibernate involves here, right? Let's say consider you are using MVC pattern for implementing your applications. MVC is the architecture pattern that we use to separate our application code, as layers: UI layer, controller, service, and a DAO. We will have views, we will have controllers, service, and the repositories or DAOs. Finally, these DAOs will talk with DB servers. So this is how the communication will happen from here to there, there to here. When you want to save data into database from your view, we send data to first controller. Controller will send it to service. Service will send it to database. Same way, the response will read from DB and it will send it back to Service will send it to controller will forward it to BIOS. Okay, this is the pattern that we follow. Even in Servlet you do development or EJBs you use or whatever it is, right? We follow same pattern. We follow same pattern. When you implement your application in Servlets, right? Servlets can help you up to this controller part, correct? So from views to read operations, right? Whatever request you are submitting, HTTP Servlet request, we read data here using HTTP Servlet request. What next? Where do I need to implement this service code? Maybe while using Servlet API, while you are using Servlet API here, take any requirement for your app, for online store application, or for anything like food ordering application. So here maybe use plain Java code. Plain Java code must be enough. Service basically will have business logic. All your business logics you can write in Java. Basic if else conditions, maybe some arithmetic operations that you need to do here. So plain Java must be enough here. But what about DAO? DAO need to interact with database. So here in this part you can use Jdbc. So with this combination you can deliver one application. This is one combo. Okay, this is one combination. In this combination you can design. Consider combination 1. What next? On top of servlets, so many frameworks came into the market, right? For implementing specially web applications. Struts, you might heard, JSF. So these are the frameworks up to controller part. To implement your controller classes, Struts API we have, JSF API we have, Java server faces, Struts 1x and 2x frameworks we have. So many frameworks came into the market in early, around 2003 and 4. So many web frameworks came on top of servlets. And again, coming to service, if it is a complex application, you may use EJB session beans here or else plain Java. It must be enough. And with EJB combinations, if you are using EJB entity beans, we have for handling database operations, or you may go through Jdbc, plain Jdbc or EJB entity beans. Again, when you use this combination, right? This, if you go with this plain combination, you don't have any burden for deploying your application. But when you use or when you touch EJBs, again it will become costlier job. EJBs components will become costlier operations for you if you touch EJB components. If you go with JDBC, plain Java code and servlets, it's fine. You can run your application into Tomcat. So here to launch this application, you can use simple Tomcat here. And here options. When you go with the plain Java code, Tomcat must be enough, or else you need to go with WebLogic kind of application server. Right? So if you choose the CJB components, then it will become complex, costlier for us. And struts also, right? Struts now it is not there in the market. Almost around 2014 itself, it went to end of life. They stopped working on it. Apache only given support. Later they stopped working on it because slowly people, less people started using it because Spring ruled the market by the time. So it slowly disappeared. Now we don't have struts in the market. Now here we have one more combination. The great combination we have here, which is currently everybody using, is Spring. So here we can use Spring modules. Spring is having MVC module to handle this controller part, Spring MVC. And here for service layer, you can use Spring Core module. Core features we can use. Which core? Spring Core features. Spring Core module we can use here. And here, instead of Jdbc, we have, instead of EJBC, EJB entity bin is a ORM. EJB entity bin components are ORM components, object relational mapping tool. On top of, or by using EJB's architecture only, the same guy, whoever is part of EJB team, right? He designed Hibernate. Hibernate is very famous for doing database operations, right? Hibernate. He brought the Hibernate framework as an open source. So here you can use Hibernate for handling database operations. Don't we have any support from Spring? Spring is not against to any open source. As this Hibernate is open source, right? They did integration support to that. So though we are using the Spring for entire application development, internally it uses Hibernate. Okay. So Hibernate we can use if it is a SQL database, if it is a NoSQL databases, right? We have NoSQL database support also in Hibernate. For GraphDB also they given support. Hibernate is also famous. It's a ORM tool that is having support to connect with databases. You can avoid Jdbc, right? For enterprise application development, you can go with Hibernate, making database operations are simple here. When you go with this combination, really you can make a big enterprise application. Still you can run it on Tomcat. You can take open source Tomcat and you can deploy it. Your application still works perfectly. And what are all other things we need? Plain MVC, Spring Core and Hibernate itself is enough to implement a web application or a enterprise application? No, we need lot other features. Lot many other features we required. Like if you want to handle transactions to maintain consistency in your database, Spring given the transaction support. Earlier we don't have this transaction supports directly as an open source. EJB is used to depends on WebLogic for transactions. WebLogic transactions we used to use. And Spring given as an open source module, security given. We can use transactions here in the service part. Here when user request, you can authenticate that user and you can authorize that user request using security here. Likewise, we have so many modules. Spring AOP we use here. Spring AOP is something like your OOPS concepts. Like how we have OOPS concepts, in Spring we have Spring AOP concept. So AOP will bring a new style. Like in OOPS, we might heard about we heard about inheritance, for reusing the code, right? Wherever you want to use the same code, we used to extend and utilize it. Spring AOP is beyond that, right? In case if you want to reuse any logic, you need not to extend or you need not to implement or you need not to associate. Without touching, other class, you can consume that, right? So such a great features they have given in AOP. So Spring AOP is a kind of feature that will really avoid, a lot of time in case if you want to add a feature across hundreds of classes. By writing single line statement, you can apply to all classes. Okay, so that's how Spring AOP will provide support. Spring AOP support we have. And here, if you want to use Hibernate or Jdbc, they given support. For Hibernate, they given Spring ORM support. We call that module as Spring ORM. Spring ORM. And if you want to use Jdbc style, Spring Jdbc also they give it. Yeah, just internally they will use Jdbc only. but they made still JDBC operations are simple, and ORM operations also they made simple. ORM itself is easy. Again, they made something more easy in Spring ORM. So this is how we use Spring modules to implement a complete MVC application from controllers to services, DAOs. What about front end part? It's up to you. Front end part never change. You can go to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or any frameworks like Angular or React. You can utilize anything. Then what about the Spring Boot and Spring Boot based microservices? Using Spring Boot also you can handle everything. They made again this complete configurations, everything simple. Spring made everything simple compare with servlets and struts. Still for now current generations, right? If you don't want to spend lot of time for developing applications, within no time if you want to develop, right, in Spring MVC or Spring Security, for all these modules we need to do so many custom configurations. We have to design a particular application with some properties files and XML files, whereas in Spring Boot they avoided all that. Everything they given as a default to start with your application. In case if you want to design the same thing in Spring Boot, yes, you can go ahead. Spring Boot also providing all these features. Apart from that, so many other features they added. And here you don't have Tomcat dependency also. If you choose Spring Boot here, Spring Boot itself is having embedded Tomcat. So all these features we have here. All these features, all above features we have here. So you can imagine using Spring Boot when you start development, especially you need not to worry about your system design or application designing. The basic design it will provide. Just you need to go from STS or from Spring IO website, and you need to basically generate your project with all your dependencies. That's it. You need not to worry about libraries. You need not to worry about configurations. So many default configurations. So many dependencies it will provide, including Tomcat, embedded Tomcat it has. So when you design Spring Boot application using all these modules, you can run it directly. You need not to use any external Tomcat. Spring Boot itself is having Tomcat. Directly you can run it on Java environment. Just you need to have JRE. Just Java you need to have. On top of JRE, directly you can run it. Such a great features they have given in Spring Boot. Spring Boot is so simple to implement applications. As I shown you one application, right? There are so many tools came into the market for code generation also. Spring IO is from Spring team only, just to generate your Spring initializer, we call it. So using this Spring initializer, we generate a project, or else using STS, we generate project. Spring tool suite or Spring initializer we use in Spring Boot. The main focus is here, the main target for us is Spring Boot only. We learn all the basics from Spring framework, but the main goal is we need to focus on Spring Boot. We need to have more focus on Spring Boot, right? So how to start with Spring Boot application, how to use the embedded Tomcats, how to change the configurations, where to maintain configurations, how to use profiles. There are so many concepts, right? As shown here, we'll go through all these concepts so that we will get full hands-on experience in Spring Boot so that you can deliver any application. Okay, so final agenda is here, learning Spring Boot post Spring Framework modules. Why still I want to cover this Spring Framework modules here is, you will understand them easily when I move to Spring Boot, right? So Again, you need not to spend time on them. Directly we can start consuming all the annotations, and we can use all the transactions or AOPs. Very in-depth internals we will cover here, so that about internals you really aware of it while using Spring Boot features. Without this also we can go ahead, but internal architectures or internal flows you will not understand. Always you need to assume maybe this is how it is going. But if you understand about Spring framework modules, the basic modules, all the very much internals you will understand, so it will be easy to you to do customizations also. Okay, so that's what we are going to do first. So we covered Spring module first, and then Spring Boot. Then using Spring Boot will show you microservices, all the microservices pattern and microservices development. Using Spring Boot only, we are going to do that. During this Spring Boot microservices discussions, I'll show you how to deploy them into, yesterday I shown you, right? You can use your local servers or your own servers to deploy your applications, right? How to route it to publics, I will show you. And the same thing you can do it in AWS or Azure, how to use Azure services or AWS services also. I'm going to show you. But don't think that this is complex. Spring Boot is simple. They made it such a easy that everybody can or anybody can understand. Right, directly they can start jumping into it and they can start coding. Okay, such a simple the style they used to implement it, right? All the pain they have taken and they implemented. Utilizing it is not a big deal. Any questions so far? Yeah, everything. Exceptions, definitely we need to see. Yesterday, this application I have shown you, right? Where is it? Yeah, maybe different workspace. Yeah, we will have all the exceptions and all. Like in REST, if there is any exception, how we will handle it, where it will redirect. From there, how we will handle it. REST-based exceptions or controller-based exceptions, right? How we are going to handle them. Okay, so it is going to beyond your expectations. So many things that we will cover here. Yeah, project, as I said yesterday, this online reservation system, I'm implementing it with multiple modules, right? So already we designed configuration servers, mail APIs we implemented, and we implemented log APIs. All that I will cover post to this, microservices session, so that you will get end-to-end mapping. Do you guys have any questions? You can we can talk. And this link, right? Yesterday I shared to register in the group. Please register yourself into this WhatsApp group. I'm sharing you once again, right? Yeah, please sign up yourself there into WhatsApp group. So finally, what we do, right? As I said, everyday basis you will get the recordings once you are done the payment to your email ID. Google Drive recordings you will get on daily basis. So even if you miss the session also, the recording will not miss. So you will receive the recording and you will see. and all the examples will be available through blogs, and I will regularly keep it updates in Git as well. I'll share it for you for lifetime so you can access, and the project also I'm going to show you finally. Okay, so everything I'll make it available as a public to you so you guys can access it anytime, uh, even projects or my notes and examples, everything, and wisely you can use them. And recordings will directly come to your mail itself, your Google Drive. So time we are going to take more than 55 to 60 sessions. During weekdays only we will have weekly 5 sessions. Okay, it is going to take around 2 or 2.5 months. We can cut down the time if we spend few weekends. Still we will plan that, but no rush, right? I mean, we can't go very, I mean, less than that sessions because huge content we have. Okay, uh, especially in Spring Boot microservices, so much useful content we have, so we need to spend lot time there. But again, right, content means, um, it's not a complicated one. In terms, it is a feature. So many features we have, we need to go each, feature by feature. They are really interesting concepts we have. So we will take some time to cover everything, and maybe post to the sessions also, right? We may have some um, sessions during weekends, free workshops kind of thing, so we all can join when I conduct that session. As you will be available in groups, right? I will do some kind of prior information so you all can participate there itself. A lot of interesting things we are going to do. Yeah. Guys, you can talk if you want to, if you have any questions, anything. Let's make all the sessions as much as interactive sessions. Okay. I'm really happy. If I don't know something, I'll really learn and teach you also any new topics or new things that you want to cover. Am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, Naveen, you're audible.
Amitabh,
Yes,
Anji,
sir.
yeah, Bala. Yeah. So shall we have a small introduction about everyone, so that I'll understand your expectations also. So based on your expectations, yeah, Angular REST works only with REST API. Yeah, Angular will use the REST API, of course. Even in JSP also you can do that. We'll show you one application, right, which is I'm developing in Angular and backend microservices. I'll show you that. But here from this session, you can expect complete Spring content, including Hibernate and Servlets. Okay. So these are add-on. You are not going to pay anything for it. So we will cover this one as well. So if you have, basically why I'm covering it, because what I thought is earlier, right, while we were learning in 2008 9, that time we used to learn everything: CoreJava, Advanced Java, Jdbc, EJBs, whatnot, Struts 1x, Struts 2x, JSF. So many frameworks we learned, but nowadays they are no use. And really, you need not to have any other dependencies here. Directly, if you know CoreJava, directly can jump to Spring Boot microservices. and you can start development. Even ORM understanding also not required. They made it such a easy here in Spring Boot. No database code you will see. On the fly, it will implement it. But still, why we need to cover here is, in case if you want to customize anything, or if you want to understand how internally it is happening, the workflow, you should know about it. So all the latest versions we covered from initializer, you can see. So here is the latest version, 2.7.5. We go through the latest version and one old version, few old version examples also I'll cover, particularly Spring Cloud features, right? We have how they migrated from old version to new version, and the migrations also how to do I'll show. If in case from old version to higher version, if you are migrating your project, is there any support from Spring Boot to understand migration properties? So that features also we'll cover. Yes, somebody talking between. Hello.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask regarding the Spring Boot and microservices. Like for microservices, there are so many things like they're using Hystrix, Zool,
Correct.
and Eureka, Console. There's so many things. So
So many things. Correct.
will we be doing a full-fledged project and learning how to integrate them and then how microservices will be implemented using all these things? Will we be doing that?
Yes.
And how much of your focus is on microservices? Because uh,
Hmm.
the other things, like I am aware of
Hmm.
the basics which you are going to take. So
Hmm.
how much of the course's time will be focused on microservices?
Microservices also going to spend good amount of time. See, earlier I used to spend lot of time on this area, uh, Spring Framework area, but now I want to cut down this part because Spring Core is the basic module that you want to know very in depth. Other than this, all these modules are going to cover in Spring Boot also, and not MVC. Okay, so what I am thinking is, if I can cover Spring Core and Spring MVC, these modules even we can see in Spring Boot as well. Okay,
Okay,
so that if I go with that pattern, we will spend lot of time in Spring Boot microservices. Now I'm seeing huge microservices content we have, right? I'm going to show live projects and each cloud deployments and Eureka and distributed transaction management and security, distributed tracing and logging, right?
yes,
So how to
yes,
use Joule API gateways, what is the importance of it, how really we integrate with front end. Basically, your mind also should tune to the microservices. Getting right? So instead of single
yes,
application, when you people think that why you should cut down it into multiple pieces, when you want to cut down it into multiple pieces, your thought process also completely should change. So here we will spend a lot of time to do that. First, I'll brush up all the patterns so that you will really get the realization of the microservices. Then we go ahead with the development. So you can refer this document between if you want to read. We are going to cover all these.
okay,
So many writers did very great patterns here they have given. So we are going to cover all that patterns. So end of the day you will become expert in microservices.
okay.
Yeah.
And what is the timing of the class? Like daily to be
um
at the same time?
I'm going to change it 7:30 to 8:30. maybe once we all get the regular link, right? Daily 1 hour session I'll take.
Okay.
It depends, right? Based on the topic that particular day what we are choose. It may extend up to 1.5 hour. Okay, but sessions are going to be like short and sweet sessions only. I'm not going to drag too much. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So I was asking about everyone, right? So once again about myself, right? I have been almost for last 12 years in this Java application development, purely in Java. Okay. So maybe for a few months I acted as a BA. Apart from that, my aim is I wanted to be a great architect into Java itself. So I thought to explore many domains since beginning. That is what my idea as I was in this teaching field. So I know that we will learn so many things. We will have good understanding on the coding and practices. So I thought, why not we should become a great architect. So I'm slowly evolving myself because so many things that we need to learn. If you want to become an architect, you need to learn about all the things around you. Like you need to observe carefully the business strategies also. And nowadays especially we have cloud, and coming to programming practices, we have so many practices, so many data structures we have. We should have great knowledge around so that we can go to up to that role. But still I'm in a learning phase. Okay. So yeah, I have in almost multiple domains since beginning. As I said, right, I have been in e-commerce for a few years, then insurance domain, and banking now almost for 4 years. Um, and LMS. LMS is not a big thing, but we delivered one product. So, and multiple databases, hands-on experience I have. Like I used SQL databases, NoSQL databases, graph DBs, in-memory databases. I know particularly all that use cases. I used some kind of BPM tools as well, rules engines also. So if you guys have any, um, application side, if you feel that if you are, working, if you want to understand the application architectures, or if you need any support, also you can reach out to me. So as much as I can, push you guys, I can help you. Yeah, apart from that, I want to hear from your side, right? What you are expecting from this session, and where you are now. You are a fresher or learning things, or you are working. Shall we start with Amitabh?
Hello.
Yes, Amitabh.
Hi, I'm Amitabh. I have like 10 years of mobile application development experience, and uh, using CoreJava and little bit of Kotlin and Flutter. So I have developed various kind of applications. But now I want to switch from this mobile application development to server-side backend development. That's why I'm
Hmm.
started to learn this. So next switch, job switch, I want to join as a backend developer. So Naveen sir, I would like to get some help regarding that aspect also. How should I prepare and what to
Great,
learn and all going ahead. Uh,
great, Amitabh.
so
Yeah,
yeah, so that is what I am hoping from this. And you have a lot of real-time experience, so I think you would be a perfect match for me.
yeah,
That's
sure,
what I'm
sure.
hoping, sir.
Yeah, I have a friend who is having similar experience. We do regularly evening walkings. I used to suggest him. Uh, I used to tell him every day, learn microservices. They are simple. If you can, spend 1 week, you will get understanding of backend development also.
Yeah,
Regularly, I'm saying to him, learn this as well, so that you will handle both. your Android part and the backend implementation part, so that you'll get good hike.
Yeah.
Not from like point of, we have startup plans. Basically, I did some, I started. I'm asking to learn everything so that we will, build great applications. Yeah,
Okay.
that's great. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Anil Kumar.
Yeah, hi sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'm a fresher. I don't have any experience. Recently, I placed in a sta- placed in a company in Visakhapatnam. Right now, I have a basic knowledge in Java. Also, want to learn Spring Boot. So that's the reason I found it. Actually, I'm expecting this session to boot at Spring.
Sure, Anil. Yeah, definitely. For this session is going to help you. From very
Yeah.
beginning, we will cover, right? Don't think that. See, basically, the problem is here when so many experienced people will involve and few freshers will involve, right? Sometimes freshers think that the content is going very high level. You're not
Yeah.
understanding it. That is not the case. You will get the really useful content here,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
right? Real time content you will get. Definitely, this is going to help you a lot for your career.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
yeah, Bala, you are there. Hello. Yeah, Bhushan.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Bhushan.
Yeah, so I have around 17 years of experience in Java, and Spring I've been working since maybe last 5 years or so. So even
Oh,
Spring Boot I work on a bit, but I mean, if I have to develop an application on my own, then I think I'll need some guidance because there are a lot of things in Spring Boot. So I thought maybe if I
hmm.
learn it in a more organized way, then that can help me.
Correct. Yeah, that is the statement I wanted to put. Yeah, so the organized way, if I can provide you some roadmap, it's easy for you. Maybe you have confusion, uh, like which topics I need to pick or which dependencies I need to put, how to start, where to start. You might have that gap. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I planned yesterday. I was thinking that I'll give a roadmap for this entire course. Okay. So that will helps you also. Maybe you can keep it with you. So what things will come where, so that easily you will design your system as well with that.
Okay. Sir, so that roadmap you will be sharing with us?
I will share it. Yes, I'm going to take next session on that.
Okay. And another thing is, I mean, what will be the timings that we start these sessions?
For now, for next 2-3 sessions, we will use 7 to 8 window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, later, based on all our availability, we can shift. We can move, uh, you know, uh, before 7 or after 7 also, anytime. Basically, it's becoming late for me even nights, so it's very
Mm-hmm.
difficult to me wake up. But I'm managing now. We will try to put between 7:30 to 8:30 or 7:30 to 9.
Okay. And if we miss some of the part at the end, so we can have a look at the Google at the session recorded sessions.
Yes, every day you will get that sessions. If you miss anything, reach out to me.
Okay. So even today's session is getting recorded.
Yeah, all the sessions are getting recorded and everything will be shared with
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
you. And previous recordings also we have. What I'm saying is, if you miss anything, do reach out to me. Whatever session or on that day, topics. If you miss anything, I'll share it with
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
you. Definitely, we are not going to miss. Every session is going to record it and we'll share with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Divya, yeah, thanks, Bhushan. Hi, Divya. Okay, yeah. So please use this opportunity as everyone here, so if we don't have, if we are fearing to talk the audience also, right? Uh, Slowly you can break that barrier also here. Let's, start interacting with everyone, uh, so that you will really get good, confidence as well in front of multiple audience. Okay. So otherwise, don't take it otherwise, uh, so basically that's why I'm going to put these sessions as interactive sessions. If there are any freshers or some people, they, you know even we came from that background that we were very shy to talk with people. uh, Slowly we improved ourselves, like, by involving into the technical discussions and all. Slowly we, break that barriers and came to up to this position, right? So I wanted to be everyone in a such, phase. uh, yeah, that's why I'm trying to put everyone here, on interactive sessions. Okay. So Jivita, you want to share?
Hi, sir. I have 6 years of experience in Java field. So I hope like I have a basic knowledge of Java and Spring and everything. Like Spring, I am working for last 2 to 3 years. But I don't have working experience or knowledge in microservices. So I'm expecting more on microservices. So I'm here to learn microservices in deep.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Yeah, thanks, Jit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Kohila, Kohila, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm having 10 years of experience in
Oh,
development and testing. Recently, I'm working in test automation testing for more than 5 years. So I want to put it back on full stack developer. That's why I'm just learning Spring Boot and microservices.
oh,
That's
great,
my
great.
point of
So
view
you
on
are
full stack.
in. Oh, that's great. So automation using
Selenium,
Selenium.
Java Selenium, yeah, JNet.
This is also, interesting thing, right? I mean, uh, a guy, my cousin came to me and he asked, he was telling me that I learned Selenium. Testing is easy. He was saying, why, man, you need to spend so much time learning on Selenium? Instead, that if you learn Spring Boot, it's really easy to you. For me, right, even I see the Selenium coding, that is really difficult, right? We need to read all the fields. We need to pass each and every case by case. We need to execute. That is not the case in the development.
Yes, actually, because of the project need, I have a switch in automation testing. So I learned
That's
myself
great.
and I
Yeah,
wrote that.
that's really great. But yeah, that's what I suggested him, learn this thing, become a developer. You know, though you are a developer, when we do this testing job, consider that our role as a testing role. They will shuffle us here and there to do automation for multiple projects.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, really, it's a good choice. Yeah, it's really easy also, doing the development task. Yeah,
Yeah, yes, sir.
thanks, bro. Madhu.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Myself Madhu Shekhar. So I have been like 1.5 years of experience on Java. So previously I was working for a company in Java background. Like I didn't get an opportunity to work on the backend, so I just worked on core Java itself. Now in this now I switched the company to like Infosys. I'm working in Infosys, and even in that, I'm still working on CoreJava field only. But I need to really work on like in the backend, like Spring technologies, Spring and Spring about microservices and all those things. And I would like to like I expect from this course is that like I can able to create means create my own web application like that. So I am so that's why I have joined this course.
Yeah, creating your own web application is not a big deal, but you will get understanding like enterprise level applications. I'll give few ideas also post to the sessions. If you have any plannings, if you want to design applications and if you want to market on your own, I'll give that business strategies and you know help from technical side as well. But post the sessions, you will all understand that how you can bring your application to live also,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
show
that
the DSL mapping also, as I said yesterday, right? I'll I'll ask you everyone to purchase one domain, maybe 99 rupees in GoDaddy, and I'll from that domain we can play. We can create domains, subdomains, and we can forward to our microservices applications. We'll really enjoy that sessions. We'll deploy it in cloud. You know, small things, but because of technical gap, we are unable to utilize them. But here we are going to cover. Yeah, thanks,
yeah.
Madan.
Thanks.
Mukesh.
Hi, sir.
Yes, Mukesh.
I do have experience in application support, like I'm working in service-based company. So from there, just I want to move in a development. Like the project I'm working in application support, slowly they are moving. That is end of life, so they are moving to the web application. So they
Got
are
it.
like a Spring Boot they are using.
Uh-huh.
So I just got an opportunity from my manager, like if you enhance the skill or do some certification in Java and learn this, so we can
Hmm.
put it on that project. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
why I start learning the core Java and this I joined this session.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, this session will help you. From scratch we are starting, right? So definitely we'll learn into and just put you some time on the practice. Others might have been in Spring project, so they'll quickly get the things. You right on regular basis if you can practice the same examples whichever I share, and if you can prepare some kind of your note, what you understand on daily basis. It is not difficult. Very very less time you can learn the things and you can be into Java projects. Yeah. Thanks, Mukesh.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Mukund. Mukund, you want to talk? You raise your hand. Hello, Mukund, you there? Maybe you are in mute. Yeah. So who's next? Parvati.
Hi, sir. I am Muthu. So my name
Okay.
is Parvati Muthukumar. So I have 10 years of experience, and currently I'm working in TCS Mexico locations, and I'm
Oh.
playing as a technical lead role. And in last 10 years, I'm working in backend developer Java. So last 1 years, I'm working on Spring Boot, developing the microservices. So
Hmm.
being a technical lead, I didn't get much chance to work on the implementation part. So most of the days I'm reviewing the code, whatever my offshore team is delivering it. So I'm reviewing those code. But I want to learn about the Spring Boot microservices. We are already using it. Um,
Hmm.
so even I copy paste the code some places, annotations. So Spring Boot is basically playing with annotations, but I don't know how this annotation works.
Okay.
Why the auto wire is working like this. So I want to know about that. And the reason for joining this session is I want to learn more about Spring Boot microservices.
Yeah.
And so I am developing microservices, and then it is getting deployed in the OpenShift environment,
Okay.
the cloud. Yeah, deploying that.
Great.
Yes, yes, sir. That's it.
Yeah. So Muthu Kumar, yeah, definitely you'll be enjoying these sessions. So I can understand from where you are coming, right? So
Mm.
yeah, it will be interesting for you because you already aware of all them, but you don't know how they are working. While realizing here, that, each and everything, you'll really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Muthu. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Priya.
Yeah, hi sir. I have 10 years of experience in the industry, and I have technical skills like Java, Spring, Hibernate, Spring Boot, but I don't have any industry experience in microservices with using Spring Boot. So mainly that is one of the I have a major thing that I need to learn. So
Mhm.
that's why I have opted for this course
Okay.
because microservices right now is hot cake in the market as well.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I was a bit concerned whether you will be covering the Spring basics only, or because it should not be like we miss out on microservices topics.
No, 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 no. The major focus is Spring Boot microservices only. Why I'm going through Spring also, basically, though right, you will brush up so many things. And since I was teaching very long back, so many design patterns also will be covered there, so that you will get really great experience from Spring basics also. Okay.
Okay.
Integration side also, it will helps you a lot when you learn from very scratch, right? So it will be easy for you if you want to do customization, if you want to create your custom configurations. You don't feel that as complex. You will feel that okay, let's do it. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so you will learn, we will learn everything from scratch to microservices, including all the design patterns also,
Okay.
starting with the strangler pattern to up to service discovery, and all the patterns whatever we have, solid patterns, solid principles. Basically microservices development is easy. Maybe in few hours I can teach you technical side,
Mhm.
but you need to understand how we need to move towards microservice. So many patterns that we need to learn before going ahead,
Yes,
right?
yes,
We
yes,
cover
yeah.
all that patterns. In microservices
Okay.
interviews also, we mostly see that such interview questions, not technically. They will go through why, how you will use Eureka, how will you use Joule. These are the not questions they will put. They will put the questions how you will break monolithic application to microservices. Do you know any patterns for that? Right.
Yeah.
So we are going to cover patterns along with all the examples: CQRS patterns, triangular pattern, saga
Okay.
patterns, solid principles. We are going to cover them. Cap
Okay.
theorem. Yeah. Yeah. Very in detailed discussions we will have. No worries. And yeah, uh, thanks, Prabhat and Sriram.
Yep. Hi, Naveen sir. This is Sriram. So I have 4 years of experience in Java. So coming to Spring and Hibernate, I have 3 years of experience. So I was expecting more on Spring Boot and microservices, and it would
Yeah.
be great if you integrate in Java features also.
Sorry, I missed the last point.
I mean, if possible, can you use Java 8 features more often and
Got it. Yeah. Really, I wanted to utilize them, but the problem is if all doesn't be able to understand them, the other around topics are going to disturb. But definitely, we will spend um, different sessions for that Java 8 features. Okay. Uh,
by
Instead
chance,
of clubbing and confusing, we will discuss them separately, maybe along with the sessions. Okay.
sure. Any chance of multi-threading using this?
Yeah, we will use executor. I'll show you executor module, basic threading concepts.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give
Yeah.
a few multi-thread examples. Yesterday also you pointed out, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, if I forget, please do remind me. We will cover that executor modules, and we have thread concepts, multiple thread concepts. Right? We go through them. From interview point of view, also, they'll really help. Yeah. And who's next? Yeah. Thanks, Sriram.
Thanks.
And yeah, Sandhya. Hello. I see she went offline. Siddharth. Siddharth. Sridhar. Sorry.
Yeah, hi. I'm into application support, so like to understand how Spring Boot and microservices work and want to work on that.
Sure, sure. So applications of production support,
Yes, yes.
taking production bugs and playing around them.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. L2 support, yes.
It's a really difficult job, in my opinion.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but great. Yeah. So definitely, yeah, we are going to cover so many things here. Definitely, we can switch from support to development area. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Sridhar. So Sandhya, you want to talk? Hello. Yeah, you are on mute. Okay. So Supriya.
Morning, sir. Supriya here. I have a 5 year of experience as a backend developer. I have worked on Java, Spring Boot, but I have a little bit knowledge on a Spring Boot. I always I have a confusion with how it is working internally and what is happening. Although I work on for the 2 year in the Spring Boot, I've joined the session to understand much more in the Spring Boot and microservices so that I can explore more.
Mm-hmm. Sure, sure. Yeah. Spring Boot internals, really right. If you don't know internals, we can't enjoy the Spring Boot. We will always think how it is working. I didn't do anything, but how it is connected with the DB, how it is running Tomcat, so
Yeah,
what is happening behind, right? Really, we will
yeah,
get into that confusion. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, we will learn all the internals, and you can play with them. You can disable what you don't want. You can enable what you all want, right? So yeah, definitely, you'll enjoy the session. Yeah, thanks, Supriya.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
And Sandhya, you online? Yesterday we run this SMS application. Let me run this again. So if you are not registered yet, you registered in this app. I'll share that link. This is the real case, right? I'm running my application in local, and I'm going to share it with you. So on requirement basis, maybe I can deploy it in my cloud services. So this is the application that we created yesterday, right? By using it. Oh, this is not. This is the SMS RB. This is the one. This is the custom banner one. See, I tried with different colors. It is unable to print it. Let me run this. We designed this application in hardly 5 minutes, right? Not more than that. Using Bootify, we did that. So like that, we have so many other tools. Even Angular code also automatically they are generating. Okay, so we will explore all that as much as I can help. Right, I'll help to share my knowledge. Okay, NG, please stay back just for next very few minutes. We'll close this session. Okay. NG rock HTTP. It is my port number. So I'm bringing my application to public, which is running in local. Just download NGRock software, you can do it. So my application is live. You all can access it. No, who all joined today, right? Who forget to register here? Please visit this site and register yourself. Click on this link. Okay. So create student, you register yourself here. Yesterday created list also we have, right? Up to 10 people registrations I can see. Please go ahead and register. Okay, I shared this link. Click on that link. When you click on this link, you will get this visit site. Click on visit site and register yourself. Yeah. So just I can have all your mail IDs, right? I will design an automatic system that will send you emails regarding or our examples or blog updates or the paintings that all we are drawing here. I'll create some automatic tool to forward to you. Let's all sign up. And if you all done, right, we'll close this session for today. This application I'll still keep it live. You guys can access. Okay. Yeah, that's all from my side for today. Shall we close the session for today? Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you all. Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good day. Yeah. I'm closing the session. Bye.
Yeah, thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you.